Okay, so this problem that I wasn't getting right, I finally found the mistake, and it was just a small brain cramp, which is usually the case. It's right here. I canceled these out, but they don't cancel. The x was not in a denominator. So this x times this x should have been x squared, and that's what make the other x squared go away. So just that one little mistake. And then whenever it's kind of like if you write a paper for an English class and there's a misspelling in it, you don't notice your own misspelling no matter how many times you look over it. So what I did is I just put this away and started the problem fresh the next day on a piece of paper. And I got that right answer the first time I tried it, and I came back here and looked and said, what did I do differently here? And it was this right here. So just to do this one more time. So the original function was x squared plus 49 inside of a square root. Square roots are 1/2 powers. The first derivative was correct. The first derivative is 1/2 x squared plus 49 to the negative 1/2. That's the power rule. Times the derivative of the inside, which is 2x. That's the chain rule. The 2's cancel. The x right here is going to stay in the numerator. The negative 1/2 can drop that down to the bottom as a positive 1/2. And you could write it as a radical, but I'm going to leave it this time as a 1/2 just because we're going to work with it again. So that was the first derivative. That I did correctly, but then in the second derivative, when you're doing the quotient rule is second times the derivative of the first. The derivative of x is 1 minus the first times the derivative of the second. Now the derivative of the second function here, the second function here is exactly the same as the original function. The denominator of the derivative turned out to be the same as the original function. So the derivative of the second is literally no different than the derivative of the original function, which was this full fraction here, and I had that, but those x's don't cancel. This makes x squared. It doesn't cancel. That's what I did wrong. I was thinking the x was in the bottom somehow. Just a slight brain cramp. And then it's all over the second squared, and if you square a 1/2, that makes it first power. So technically this is a 1 here. 1/2 squared, that's when you multiply the exponents. So this is the second derivative, except they like it cleaned up, is the final answer. It's not good to have fractions inside of fractions. So the key is to get a common denominator of this x squared plus 49 to the 1/2. I need that here where there's basically a 1. So you're multiplying both the top and bottom by x squared plus 49 to the 1/2 power. And then when you do this 1 to the 1/2 times this 1 to the 1/2, that's when you add exponents. 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1. So that makes just x squared plus 49 to the first power. And then the bottom is x squared plus 49 to the 1/2 times 1, which is just x squared plus 49 to the 1/2. And then the part I messed up, this should have been x times x. This would be x squared right here. And then it's all over the x squared plus 49 to the first power. So then when you come all into one common denominator for the numerator part, there'll be a common denominator of x squared plus 49 to the 1/2 power in the bottom of the top. when I'm combining these two fractions together. And because this is first power, you don't really need the parentheses. And this x squared minus this x squared, that cancels out. That's how the x squared goes away. So you just have this 49 right there. And then you still have this overall denominator. So what that simplifies to right now is 49 over x squared plus 49 to the 1/2 power over x squared plus 49 to the first power. And you could put that over 1, so you have a fraction divided by a fraction. Flip the second and multiply. Now this 49 definitely does not cancel that one because there's a plus right here. But all of this cancels out. So I don't have a fraction inside a fraction anymore, but the top is 49 times 1, 49. And then the bottom, you have two bases that are the same. X squared plus 49 is each base. And this 1 could be written as 2 over 2. So you have 1 over 2 plus 2 over 2, that's 3 over 2. And this is the answer to the second derivative right here. And then when you plug in the numbers, I did that yesterday where it worked fine, but I wasn't getting the x squared to go away, and that was wise, because I accidentally crossed these x's out, but they shouldn't have crossed out. They should have combined to make an x squared, and then that's what would make the x squared go away. And this is section 5.3. Section 5.3, number 5. So here's the final answer, 49 over x squared plus 49 to the 3/2. 49 over x squared plus 49 to the 3/2. But I had it as x squared plus 48 because I had x squared plus 49 minus 1, but it wasn't supposed to be minus 1, it was supposed to be minus x squared. So that's that one. That all it takes is one little tiny mistake. Usually it's one little detail that you're just doing wrong. And sometimes it gets to be such a mess you can't even find your own little mistake. So that's just how it goes sometimes. So one strategy which worked for me this time was I let it go last night. I was also recording late into the night, so maybe I was a little tired. Just let it go, come back another time, and just start fresh. Don't even look at what you did before, and just start it all over again, and that actually fixed it for me. So that corrected that. I just wanted to show you that to let you know that's was only a little minor detail wrong with that problem.